So here we are. I'm going to change the sprocket this morning, so I thought I'd see how this works. Yeah. Hopefully we'll get the bike out a little later on to test it. So I'm a bit sneezy this morning because the wind's blown from the other direction, bringing the pollution from the inland over. It's a really simple process changing this. Just take the bolt straight out the pedal. Yeah, they were spraying the field yesterday, so I think it's the crop spray that's causing me to go. It's definitely not pollen, because pollen season's kind of past down here. Not much left that's in flower. This is always the trickiest part, getting that part off. Oh yes, I forgot my gloves. When it gets real messy. Handling the chain is the part that does that. It's going. Trying to get this part off. Just got to get that, get some extra leverage. I wouldn't recommend this at home. This is not kind of health and safety, but there's a way that I'm going to be able to get this off here. There we go. Probably do not need to tighten these up as much as I have done in the past. I guess I have to keep changing cogs over. I don't want to wear them out too much. But this is going to be the big test, just to see if I can ride this comfortably with such a small chainring, as I may be spinning out on the faster speeds, in which case perhaps I may have to use the throttle more just to maintain a more comfortable pace on flatter roads. But going down Devonshire, I will be tackling more hills, so that shouldn't be an issue. By the time I get up the top of the hill, the gravity will pull me back down. So I might move on from here. Over the weekend, this was supposed to be a nice clean place, but the breeze was coming in the wrong direction, and there were so many cars coming up and down here for the surfing and whatnot. Well, not surfing, paddleboarding now. SUP seems to be a very popular activity these days, so people are coming out on their paddleboards and a lot of kayaks, but with that there was a lot of cars parking up and down here, a lot of pollution, and plus the ice cream van was just in front of us. And there goes my alarm. I have these reminders that remind me of the time in the morning. Do not really need them. That's the last one anyway. Okay. So it's such a simple job, even on the side of the road. Make sure I'm still in view. You can see what I'm doing. So this just comes straight off. And that's my old, it was an adapter, so I've put two chain rings on there. I've got a 39 tooth and there was a 53 tooth on the outside, but I put the 42 just for a bit more of a, it enabled me to pedal at an average of 15 to 16 right up to 20 quite comfortably, whereas the 39 I was spinning out when I hit 20. So that can go to one side. It's time to test this little thing out. Now people have said that the chain line can be a bit funny with the 30 tooth, but we shall soon find out. Look at that, it fits right around the inner ring. Just line those holes up. I will have to adjust my chain at some point too, just so that it doesn't stay too loose on the smallest, on the highest gear. This should be a pretty interesting experience now. With it spinning at higher RPM, the motor will be more efficient too, so it will stay cooler. It should be quite a different ride altogether. So this is all prepared for the hills that we will be tackling right from Dorset down to Devon. They shall gradually get worse. Well, not worse, just more of them. And I may end up having to tackle steeper gradients, possibly up to 30. Well, I think 30 is only in the Peak Districts. Well, the Peak District, the Lake District, there might be a couple in Dartmoor. But I have not seen too many of the really bad gradients. It just... Kimmeridge is going to be a real test. I'll have to tighten that once the chain's on. That's completely useful. Oh no, it might be okay. We'll see. I like that tiny cog, it's brilliant, I love it. And you see how high those teeth are on the narrow wide. That should keep the chain on no matter what. So not too tight, just enough to hold it on. So this is the beauty of having such a vehicle on the road, like a bicycle. It's just so easy to maintain. All I need is a few set amount of tools. I can change tyres, I can change sprockets, I can change chains without much effort. To over tighten it. You know how these things are when you go. They sometimes need a bit more pressure to slide onto the little square, but as long as that grips and it doesn't loosen up, that should be us good.
Because of our lifestyle, I don't need money as much as everyone else needs money. So, as you were saying, be gentle with yourself. Yesterday, it was a beautiful day, and I got up and I cycled to Lymington,
yeah.
And I had to go at busking. And
what, for the first time?
For the first time in
Wow.
such a long time.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, okay,
so I have
yeah.
done it before. My father was a busker, so
Yeah.
I have music in my blood. But
Yeah.
I asked all the local shopkeepers if I could play outside the shop, and they were like, fine with it, that's fine. And people were really, really friendly because I was just open,
Yes.
and I allowed myself to be
Open.
gentle, open, and so I had to go at busking.
No
and
fear.
No fear, and embracing the fear, and just, you know, even playing music that just that's true to your emotion.
Yeah.
So what was I saying? Yeah, so even though I didn't make that much money, I had in the back of my head, oh, I need to make money because I'm running out and all those things. But I have to look after myself, so I stopped. And I had the most beautiful walk around town, and when I got back we just relaxed on the beach, and I just felt the path switch from a detrimental path into a more, you know, inspirational path, because you can make money any day you want to. You don't have to rush it.
But it sounds like you let go of the need to make money.
Exactly.
So we have Michael here, who came running after us before we left, and it's been such a great encounter. So do you want to tell us a little bit of what went through your mind?
I think as soon as I saw the bikes, something in me knew that there was something different about you two, and just the letting go and having the nerve to do this and produce this bike out of bits and pieces and just improvise in a way which, you know, is the way forward to saving the planet. Solar cells and, you know, free power from the sun. So I just rushed up to the car park and parked quick because I thought you were going to go, and I had to rush back. And then we're having a conversation, and you're reading Wild Mind, and I'm reading Wild Mind at the same time.
And he's just asked me to sign his copy of Wild Mind.
Because this is a Wild Mind. These guys have got wild minds.
So it's quite fascinating. So this is one of the highlights in a way. We've had a lovely conversation, and I did a book signing for a book that I didn't write, but, and he's kindly lent us his dongle with a New Earth and all sorts of audio books that we can listen to on the journey down.
Wow.
But
Some may serve you, some may not be relevant.
Yes, and Keyhaven has been a wonderful place. We've met so many people, friends come along that we haven't seen for a long time, and so we're going to be heading off. We're going to be heading off down to Bournemouth next, along the seafront, and yeah, see where the day takes us. But hopefully we'll be over at Studland Bay by the end of the day, taking the ferry over. So we're going to meet another friend along the road at Bournemouth. He's one of the people that we played with in a virtual reality tournament back in the winter. So we've kept some good contacts, and I look forward to meeting him later. So I just wanted to video this because this was such a beautiful encounter. Shows you how synchronicities are just playing out so wonderfully on this journey. So if we'd have just shot off, we wouldn't have seen this. So yes, we shall continue. So made it to Bournemouth along the seafront. It's a bit hard trying to drive through the town, but we managed to get some spare tyres from Halfords. They actually gave us some free ones because ours were perishing only after 160 miles. So we have those on board. And the bikes are charging away, keeping us fully charged in this weather. So we came down here to meet some friends who have gone down to the shade down the end somewhere. Yes, so time to relax for the day, and then we'll head towards Studland ferry and find somewhere to camp in Studland in the evening. So yeah, such a beautiful location just to relax. Sun's out as usual, so much charge for the solar panels, so I've still got full power on the battery even though I've been using the assist. With this new gearing, it's hard to not use the assist when you're on the main roads.
Right, so yeah, I was talking to Irony Man last night about what makes Echo Arena as addictive as it is. I think what it is the fact that when you can have some days where you'd be throwing the disc and everything just works, like it was a couple of nights ago, I could just every single shot went in, everything just worked perfectly, and then you go months with none of it working at all, and it's that constant search for knowing that like I can do that and I've done it before, but
so you're gonna keep doing it until
why can't and you just keep doing it in the hope that one day it will become like second nature, like the likes of cunts like Poole. Just do it naturally.
So the thing is, like Boot, that's kind of, I think he does it kind of almost instinctively.
He did it in the beta, didn't he? Just
And that's how I tend to play as well. When I go in, if I haven't been in for a long time, it's just second nature.
I don't know, like RNE was basically comparing it to golf. He was saying that that's what people do in golf, like they'll do a few rounds and then they'll get a hole in one and do this, that and the other, and then they'll spend the rest of their lives on the golf course constantly hoping that they'll get that hole in one again. And in their head they're like, I've done it before, so I should be able.
But then that takes away most of the focus.
Yeah, sure.
But so we're here at Bournemouth Beach. So this is so these guys here are part of a game that we were playing in winter, in our winter hibernation with virtual reality. So it's called Echo Arena, and so yeah, I wouldn't say his full name, but his name in game is Gob. We got Annabella here, who was Finity, and me and her used to play in the team. So Gob, would you like to give us a quick description of what Echo Arena is?
It's a really shit game in virtual reality where you fly.
This is going on YouTube.
No, it's an awesome game in virtual reality where you team up in teams of 3, and it's basically like ultimate frisbee. Try and score goals in either end. And Quidditch, yeah. Yes, a little bit like Quidditch. But it kind of plays a lot like Rocket League in the same way. I remember when it started, everyone was like, oh, this is just like Rocket League.
And so in Echo Arena, me and Finity actually made it to Hamburg for the regionals, and we got a little bit of pocket money over winter. Unfortunately we couldn't make it to Poland because it was completely snowed out, and we were driving, we didn't want to take the plane or train, we couldn't get to our food source, so we just had to call it a day there, but Gob went along. And there was a bit of a mess, wasn't it?
I mean, everything worked perfectly, I don't know what you're talking about. It was fine, they had no technical problems, the best team won, yeah, it was great.
Yeah, it should have been jacked.
That game. It was mad actually, like in the little room backstage, you just had like even the American players were just cheering for Jack. So like every time they scored,
Yeah.
and like every time the Eclipse guys scored, you had like eyes shining out, jumping around. Yeah, Palador, you're a fucking god. You're a fucking god, Palador. And
You're on
when Jack
YouTube.
scored, it was like, well done, well done.
Oh
And,
gosh,
like, the
this is.
whole room was
Do you realise
going
this is?
nuts for
I'm
them.
going to have to find a way to edit the beeps in this or something. Oh well, it's fine. I'll just have to put. So.
Actually, I'll just go beep every time I know you're going to stop.
Do that.
Yeah, so if you want to look up Echo Arena, go on YouTube, have a look and look at some of the videos. It's a brilliant game, and the thing with virtual reality is you're actually using your physical body. You're not just on a keyboard, you're actually getting exercise and you're using your head.
You are. This is very true. And then once you've used up all of that energy in that VR space, you can eat all the foods that these guys talk about.
Yeah, wild food and foraging, and so this is Jolly. He's in the game too. So this is kind of like our little Echo Arena community.
Yeah.
So for those, I'm going to post this on the Discord group. So you want to give any shout outs to anyone in game?
Nah.
Infiltrate, yeah.
Oh yeah, actually, Beastmaster Alex.
Oh yeah, Master and who else? I don't know. Ali.
Yeah, so
The
here.
only other girl.
So we're just relaxing now. Beautiful weather. It's been a beautiful weather all week. So just trying not to get sunburnt, but that'd be quite uncomfortable riding like that. So yeah, over and out. So this is a great little feature on the Bournemouth pier. They actually have a community barbecue, which is great. With one Jolly back behind me, he actually donated us a fish, a wild fish to cook for the evening. So we're doing that on the barbecue here. So this is brilliant. The community, the council at Bournemouth have got it right. So all we've got to do is head further down that pier to head to the ferry later on this evening. But it's such a relaxed point. Instead of having to race through Bournemouth Centre, we're actually such a relaxed journey heading up. Maybe another mile to go. You can even overtake just there and that's it. Just keep going up to the end and you won't have to, you can carry on if you want.
So is it a solar power electric?
Yeah, solar powered.
So you don't have to pedal?
Well, we do somewhat, but
No. Go to the place.
but you power it to batteries, and then we've got the electric motor on the front.
So it's solar power, what's in that?
And that's my sleeping space. So that comes open and like a tent canopy.
So where's your sleeping space?
She has a tent.
Hey, I love it. Is that the ice cream?
that's so that solar power charging up the batteries, powering the electric motor. And then that's my sleeping pod. It opens up and I sleep in there. Sorry?
Wait, why do you need the power?
For the electric motor. No, we come down from Northamptonshire. Yeah. Yeah. So probably done, over 200 miles now. Yeah, just getting to Studland.
Is that your final destination?
For tonight, yeah. We'll find somewhere to wild camp and then.
Whose birthday is it, or is that just...
Oh, we just left it. I didn't even know whose it was. Where are you ending up though?
We're just going to go with the flow. We're just getting away from the inland pollution, so now we're by the coast, do some fishing, live off the land a bit. Yeah.
Well, have fun.
Thank you. But yeah, we're going to be posting videos and whatnot, so you'll be on it if you want on the. But if you want to follow us, if you want to take a website down, you can see what we get up to. It's www. Someone's got a phone. It's Richard, so it's my name, richardmorby.com. So MAWBY. But yeah, Richard.
Richard.
MAWBY.
MAWBY.com.
.com, yeah. But you'll see the YouTube on there and you'll see what we get up to. Camped on the beach, just the other side, just by Studland, near the ferry. You can see Bournemouth in the distance. Looks like some of the people had the same idea last night. So this was a nightmare trying to push the bikes over sand and the weight of the things. So we'll have to clean the chains up because we've got them a little bit sandy before we carry on. But we had to push them right through that sand, which was very, 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 very difficult. But where we ended up was worth it. So now we'll make our way towards Bridport. Probably not get there today, there's another 40 miles to go. But we'll see how far we get. We might even reach Kimmeridge or Lulworth today. We're at the base of Corfe Castle, as you can see up there. Beautiful place if you can go up there one day. I had a little nosy one morning. Great views from the top, and the shadows of the castle came over the valley in the distance in that direction. There's a steam train running past the bridge up here. Hopefully we'll catch it on video at some point. We've just had a little break. We've come away from Studland where we were stuck for a few hours because the gearing just kept skipping on my bike trying to get up some of these steeper hills. We had a portable cyclist come by. Great guy. I'll see if I've got my card on here. If you're ever down this way, I believe, no, is that the one? I do not think he gave me his card. Never mind. But he's a mobile cyclist and he rides around on an electric motorbike with all his toolkit and helps people out. So he had a look at this and he said he doesn't reckon the actual chain, the actual sprocket's worn. It was just the line for the chain. So what I've had to do, just as a test, is drop the chain down off where I used to have it in that ring because it was bending the derailleur, which may have been causing the chain to keep skipping off the largest ring. So it's not too low to the ground, so I'll give that a go and see if I can pedal up the hills a little easier. So again, we've had a lot of people come to see us, stop by, say hi. Canadian woman was absolutely fascinated because they're very into solar in Canada apparently. So we're heading to West Lulworth now, down to Lulworth Cove, and to meet Poole Burkhardt of Bushwhacker Tours. So if you're down this way, check him out because he can probably do some brilliant coastal foraging with you. He's a great guy, and hopefully we'll get a word with him later, and he can give himself a little introduction. So it looks like we're not going to catch the steam train, unfortunately, but it runs straight over that bridge. There was a hill coming out of Studland, very, very, very steep, and this could have nearly snapped the chain on it, so I had to get off and push it up the hill. Great strain, but we did make it. It wasn't as tall as I'd worried about. Not as bad as Watership Down, nothing's reached that level yet. I wonder where that runs to. I haven't looked at the route, but it crosses by every other half an hour. Yep, I think we're ready to hit the road again. We'll see if I have any problems now, and fingers crossed that the gearing has been rectified. Just look at those views. I've just climbed some very, very steep hills. Now I've fixed the gearing, this is absolutely amazing. I've never had it so easy. It must have been about a 15-20% gradient. The bike literally climbed straight up it. So in the distance there we have Kimmeridge, which we may go and see at some point. Now Annabella, poor Annabella, she hasn't got a sprocket that will fit her bike. I tried to fit a lower tooth that I used to have on my bicycle before, but because she's got a normal bike, the chain line is completely off with these chainring adapters, so unfortunately she's just had to walk up this hill. It's a very steep hill. It doesn't look it from here, but the gradient is insane. So here she is, finally made it up.
I wouldn't have it any other way though.
It's a shame those smaller teeth don't fit. There was a breeze coming up here. But we always make it when we start pushing, so it's not an issue. So that's the only real issue we're going to have on this trip. Is any long steep gradients. Annabella's going to have to push her bike up the hill. However, me pulling 200 kilos, it went straight up that hill without even a chain slip, so that's really great. So we have had some positives today. We have managed to fix the gearing that was causing me so many problems, and I think the main reason behind that is by letting the chain be loose under there so that it can follow the chain line to the rear sprocket. So onwards we go. We're almost at Lulworth. We've been using the V key to get there. We haven't been using it as much when we've been at Keyhaven, which is why I haven't talked about it so much, because we haven't been doing much riding. But we took it from, well, I recorded a route from Bournemouth to from Keyhaven to Bournemouth, but from Studland to Lulworth we have been using it, and it's been such a great app. It's taken us off the main roads, the ones that would have been insane to try and ride along with such traffic. It's taken us down this wonderful quiet road which I'm quite familiar with, and there's a lay-by somewhere down in that valley that we can hide in if we did come back Kimmeridge way. But we'll probably stay towards Weymouth because that's closer to our raw milk supply, only 18 miles away. So in the V-key, I've been using it ever since we left Northampton. It's been such a great sat-nav. I mean, I thoroughly recommend it for bikers. The only alternative is those Garmin sat-navs that you can get to clip onto the bike handles. However, I've heard people having so many issues with them, and I love the fact that Naviki offers the different kinds of bicycles. So having those different ranges, you can decide what kind of bicycle you are going to use, and then it will take you down those prospective routes. So we're using the racing bike because it keeps us off most of the narrow bike paths, and it also seems to take us down up the lowest gradients. We were only climbing 1,700 or 800 feet this time, as opposed to 2,000 odd if you use the S Pedelec version. It's a relatively quiet road, there's only a couple of cars coming up and down. But the positives with Naviki, pretty much everything. I'll give more reviews later on once I try other features, but so far it's been the racing bike sat nav, and yeah, we'll see how that goes. I'm going to get a better recording of trying the record route. I'd like to see what kind of stats it gives us. However, the route that I recorded from Keyhaven to Bournemouth or Studland, it, for some reason, whenever I try to look at the data, it seems to crash the app. So that's possibly one fault that needs to be looked at. We'll see what happens there. And yeah, so that's probably it for now. We're going to carry on to Lulworth, and at some point I will show you how Naviki works. It's great to support these guys, and they've done such a great job with the app, and it's taken us all the way down to the south coast successfully, without touching a main road. And if it did go near a main road, there were cycle paths that were wide enough for us to get these contraptions down. Here we are at the beautiful Lulworth Cove, and so I had to use the pedal assist so much on the bike today because of the hills and the way the gearing works, and I have to say, even though I did 18 miles with the sun power, I've still got 92% batteries left. We have Poole Burkhardt here of Bushwhacker Tours. He lives down here in the beautiful Lulworth Cove. We were here a little while ago for a close to earth gathering, where he brought us some beautiful salmon, and we foraged a few things to have with that. So Poole, what was your first opinions when you seen us come down with this?
Well, I've been an engineer for a lot of years, and then suddenly I turned into a forager. I absolutely love this. This is something that is straight out. It's off the wall, and I absolutely love it.
And do you want to tell us a little bit about Bushwhacker Tours?
Well, Bushwhacker Tours, I operate in Dorset, Somerset, Hampshire, and anywhere else where you want me. It's predominantly I'm down here, and the thing is, it's something I've done all my life, and whatever you want to know, I'll endeavour to provide.
Yeah. And he's a fellow forager, so so what else, seeing as everything's gone to seed this time of year down at the coast, what would you recommend people looking for in the summer?
At the moment, the apples are coming through, the cherries are coming through, the elderflowers almost going to berry as well, so that's another good one to look out for if you haven't made your elderflower. Cordials, then make some elderberry wine. That's a good one. We've still got the seaweeds down here.
They're not gone past there.
No, they're all still fine. I've just had warning today from Matt Vernon at Cornwall foraging that there's a bit of a algal bloom in the water at the moment.
I noticed that up at Keyhaven.
Yeah, so shellfish are kind of off the menu at the moment.
So why is that?
It's just with the heat. It's with the water conditions, everything like this. So that's what happens.
Yeah. Okay.
So
they wouldn't eat the limpets or anything like that.
But I mean, coming up in the next month or so, down in this area specifically, I went to look yesterday and for the bolitas and the parasols. It's been so dry. Nothing's been coming up at the moment. But I just think let's have a bloody storm. Let's have a bit of wet and hopefully something's come up. I mean, the burdocks still on the go at the moment. It's only another boat.
Well, as I say, the fennel flower buds are delicious.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we've got some of those here.
And I mean, we pick it in the garden, and this is the gift that keeps on giving. Because the moment you pick it, it just sprouts again, and you've got a lot of the fresh shoots. Obviously, this is an old example.
Yeah, sure.
But yeah, up there, just take it off, and it just grows again. So
Brilliant.
And it's the same with any of the APAC, the hogweed, everything like that. If you pick it, it just keeps coming again.
I do love the carrot family, but there are those dangers, aren't there?
Yeah, yeah.
Do you have any hemlock water drop work around here?
There's a bit up the road, up near the stream, and then we've got some Conia maculatum up in the garden as well. So,
what was the common name for that one? Poison hemlock.
That's just hemlock.
Yeah, poison hemlock, that was it. But yeah, so we're going to relax now with Poole by the beautiful Lulworth Cove, and yeah, over and out.
Cheers.
Line. Okay. Line. Right, left, and pull.
Okay.
Pull.
And what was the torso?
For the front.
Yeah.
For the front. To the front, the same. On the other side. One line with the hand.
Yeah.
Very important. And then.
Oh, that looks good.
You could make this with some rope.
Can I try that one, please?
Okay, very, very slowly.
Slowly.
So we have Sebastian here from Berlin who came to have a look at our solar bicycles, and he has this great, he had this great exercise rope or something. And would you like to tell us a little bit about it, Sebastian?
What?
Would you like to tell us a little bit about this?
It's a sling trainer
Okay.
from the Navy SEALs.
And you use this.
It's very strong.
You can use it anywhere.
Absolutely. Push back completely. Back. Yes, that's right. Okay, you feel this area here?
I feel it
this
mostly,
area.
yeah, there, yeah.
And this area.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah.
And then the twist. You can do so much with that.
You can do this with the shoulder too. This one.
Oh, yeah. What was the one you were doing before we came and spoke to you? You were doing like...
This one is not possible.
No.
No. You can do this for the shoulder.
Yeah.
Okay, open the arms, close the arms. Yeah. And this one too. Up,
Yeah.
down,
Down.
all for
Like
the
that.
shoulder.
Do you do this
Very-
as well?
It's the same like this.
Like when you're...
When you train the front of the body. Line and line.
Yeah.
You did do this.
Yeah?
This. You can do this too. Okay?
Oh, yeah.
This too.
So this is a great bit of kit. I'm thinking of possibly making it out of rope, and you can tie it to any tree, anywhere. Will fold up easily.
Well, I'll build it lower.
Push. That's the line. Very important. Okay. Slowly back.
Forward?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Very strong. Back. Yeah.
I can feel
Perfect,
that.
Yeah. You're strong. When you train, every time you are outdoor, yes?
perfect. Sun gives you power, like the sun gives you power, gives you bike power.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. This position. Okay. The foot line, very important. And then one.
Oh.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Wow.
Okay.
Okay, I'll try that. That looks tough though.
You too.
I think I might make one.
Yeah. No. Go down, please. Go down.
Oh, okay.
Go down. I help you.
Okay.
Okay, ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. When? Stop.
Oh.
Foot
Needs to be even.
line is very important. Okay? Yep. Now. Okay. 1. Hey, perfect. Yes, 1.
I need to practice that a lot more.
It's not so easy.
No. Yeah. I need to build my upper body strength.
And a lot of other chain, but not now.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you for showing us. Take care.
No problem. You got it. Thank you too.
Down at the ocean seafront for Lulworth, the low tide has come in, so I'm just having a wade out to gather a few things. There's a very old sugar kelp in there. Some things that I think that's just sargassum, just a bit of old sargassum. Possibly, I haven't seen it in that stage. There's a bit of carrageen in here too. This is where I brought it from last time to dry. So what I'm after is all of this stuff here, the serrated rack. I'm going to gather it while there is a low tide, and I'll be hanging that on the trailer to dry out. Oh look, there is the sargassum. I've forgotten the last name, muticum or something, or wireweed. That's what people usually call it. There's a load of sea lettuce here too. If I have space, I might try and do something with that. But the two things that I am after is, well, three things. If I find some sugar kelp, that would be gorgeous. But sargassum is a bit old to use at the minute, but that's gorgeous. It almost tastes like chickweed. It really does taste like chickweed. Carrageen, I don't really have the space to store that at the moment, so the main idea today is to gather loads of serrated rack, dry it out while we have such great weather, and then store it dried and grind it up once we get home. Just having a nosy to see what else we have out here. Apparently there's oyster beds in that direction, so maybe if I can get hold of a snorkel or something, I can go for a wander to try and catch them. There's so much sea lettuce. Oh, there's a little bit of kelp in there, probably oarweed. But I've been learning my seaweeds this year. It's been a great year, and I mean, it's just the amount of nutrition that's packed in these. Being inland, the seaweeds are genuinely edible unless it's been washed up from outer shore, which there's only 1 or 2 species that I'm aware of that are potentially toxic. So with seaweed you can't go far wrong other than being conscious of the pollution that might be coming into the coves or into the bays or wherever you're picking it. So here is genuinely is relatively low pollution, so the only thing that's coming in is agricultural from where the sheep are, so it's not, I don't know if there's any real risk in that, especially when you're drying it, but we shall have to do a bit of research on that. So here we are, we're in Lulworth Cove, waded out into the sea and going to do some picking. First time of me seeing this in this amount, that this is mature sea spaghetti. Possibly when it's in its younger form it would make a great pasta substitute, literally as it says, like spaghetti. So foraged, so here's all the sea spaghetti that I foraged, drying out in the sun, and there's our serrated rack. So that's as much as I could probably do today, although I think the tide's coming in now. Maybe the next low tide I'll do the other side of the trike. So yeah, let that dry, then pack it.